Well, Joburg City Power is conducting an operation to cut off illegal electricity connections at Riverpark in Alexandra. The area has seen an increase in illegal connections, which it says, is overloading the network. I want to bring in our SABC news reporter, Maageketla Motlabe, live for us there. Maageketla, a very good morning to you. So we understand that previous efforts at this disconnection were abandoned after the community became too hostile. Tell us more about that and this operation as well.
Yeah, Blaine, I mean, it's no different today. When we got here just a couple of minutes ago, we saw this smoke here billowing over Alex, and residents blockading this road with burning tires, rocks, tree branches, anything that they could get their hands on to make sure that City Power technicians do not have access to this area. It's Riverpark Flats, where we saw the cut of illegally connected wires taking place about 4 or 6 months ago, and that's when we saw some sort of hostility. City Power officials chased out of this area, rocks flying, Blaine. But today we can see that police are here. They are trying to defuse the situation. Just a couple of minutes ago, when you came to us, they were actually speaking to the members there, members of the community, trying to understand what's going on. And it looks like at this stage relatively peaceful because there hasn't been any kind of standoff. But I just want to bring one of the residents here because many of them are actually not willing to speak to us. But Stephen Gekana, you are willing to speak to us. Just talk to us. When last we were here, it was just the same story. The issue of illegal connected wires taking place here, and of course City Power technicians want to cut you off, and you are still blockading the road.
Problem last City Power it cut. The petition follow up the process. So we follow up the process, but up until today, I don't any feedback. So City Power cannot just cartel. But we are more than willing if they give us the proper electricity. But since nobody's got officing and they are incompetent, they are not working for the people, I think government should check the politicians and public representatives based on their performances. Why pay these guys fat salaries when they are not servicing the needs of the communities? The problem is, and we cannot allow them to cut because we all need electricity. So it would be best if City Power can bring proper electricity. This thing will come to a rest.
Okay, petition
petition how many units? We have more than 5,000 units that are more than willing to pay the proper electricity if they render us the service. But City Power is playing duck and dive, and about to face the real issues come. You cannot use paraffin 2021. We are also citizens of South Africa. We deserve the service that everyone. That's all what we are crying for.
Okay, so what you're saying is that if City Power
illegally connect, so we cannot do paraffin by 2021.
But what about the safety of children? I mean, we've seen these incidents of children dying because
they
of
act as if they care, but by City Power. If we can check at illegal connections, they are dangerous. If they cared for the communities, they would see where this is not safe. You are told but we keep a proper structure. Simple.
All right.
Yeah, re
nyaka o tseba gore gabotse re a bona le kgono le tswela pele ka mogwanto le dira ditšhupetšo tša gore ba City Power ba se ka ba tsena ba kgathe motlakase, and ke a bona ne le boledišana le maphodisa gape ba re
mogala ba gešo e re le so maphodisa a ba re tsebiše before ba tlo tla mo ntweng bona ba no tla ba tlo re kgaolela motlakase. So as re bona re le so re ba bona ba tletse mo Alex Mall re kwatile cost of batho ba rona ba re ba votelang, they are failed to us every day. tle ba re botsa maaka. So we are tired. So a ba re tloele re phele ka mokgwa re phelelang ka gona o ntshwana. Ba ska ba nyaka gore rena mo lefaseng la borona gore re kry dinyakwa so ntse re senye pele ba tlhaloganya a re nyaka gore rena mo lefaseng le ke la bonkgono ba rona le a se lefase la gore bona so ntse ba bereke then ba be too much wa tlhaloganya so they must do the right thing for us. Sharp.
Okay. City Power spokesperson.
For the last minute. And our councillor, why should we can lekgowa le ka tlo rula rona mo plekeng ya rona? No, lekgowa a le tswa mola then rona re bona which party e ka re thusang ka mola. DA, she fell to us. Irene, she fell to us. She's a councillor to councillor.
Thank you. City Power spokesperson Isaac Maageketla, you are losing here.
Yeah, look, I think the issue here is about illegal connections that are happening at the block of flats here. Those block of flats, and I heard one of your community members basically saying that we need to electrify them so that we deal with the issues of illegal connections. But it's not as easy as that, because the flats that they are occupying do not belong to the city for once. They are belonging to provincial government. They haven't been proclaimed as part of the housing or a place where people can actually stay at. So that's why as City Power, our hands are tied. We can't electrify a place that is not proclaimed to have electricity.
You were here the last time, Isaac. You failed to actually defuse the situation. You even abandoned the operation. But how are you going to see an end to this?
Remember, the operation today, it's not actually City Power's operation. The operation is Ukai Mulao operation, and it's led by the SABC. City Power was called in as part of those that are actually supporting that operation, and that's why we are actually looking up to the police to be the ones who lead us, to tell us whether we need to move in or we're not supposed to move in. Otherwise, we are ready as City Power. This is part of our revenue protection program. We are losing lots of money because of the illegality that is happening across the city of Johannesburg, not only here, but also we want a situation where we can actually sit down with other departments that are responsible for proclaiming, so that this area can be legalized and City Power can come and bring services along with other city departments.
So you're saying that the idea is to have this place legalized, and one of them saying that you actually told them, you requested them to sign a petition. They did that. Thousands of them are willing to pay for a legal electricity should it be installed here. When are you going to do that?
The process of petition is one of the ways in which services can be requested from the city, but it takes a long time for a petition to go through several steps, including the petitions committee at council, before they can actually approve and say we have to provide services. We were here 6 months ago, and that petition was done after that, and I think that's where the thing that we can do is basically to follow up on that petition, to know exactly how far it is, and then to see and maybe even push so that it can be sped up. Because remember, for us as City Power, if this area is electrified, the better for us, because it means we can be able to collect revenue, we can be able to provide proper electricity, and we won't have a situation where we're spending money on mini substations that are blowing up every time because of overloading. So for us, actually, we will be happy if the area is electrified.
Thanks so much, Isaac Maageketla. And just approach, please, because you are from the office of the MMC here in Johannesburg. You are also responsible for this, but just for the benefit of our viewers, just introduce yourself and tell us what have you done so far to make sure that we do not see the repeat of this.
Okay, my name is Stan Itzigetseng. I'm the Deputy Director Communications and Stakeholder. These are my people. I speak on behalf of the MMC in his absence. The situation here is a bit tricky. The first tricky part is that the property occupied by the citizens in this particular area belongs to the province. The province was in the process of building the structure. It was incomplete for one reason or the other. The building, in the opinion of the province, is unsafe for human habitation. So what we need to do, which we have already started engaging, because we spoke to the leadership of this area and we've agreed that the MMC is going to see them. I think she is the chairperson of the group or a leader of the group. We then said to them, once we have resolved the issues, we'll call an urgent meeting to update them. The first update is that the city must meet with the province, and the province must give us the completion plan, including the safety document. Remember, in order for the city to include electricity in the area, Department of Housing must give us a certificate that says we are ready for you to go in and make electrification. Where they don't, it puts a dilemma. But what I agree, we've agreed when we come here, I will speak with the leadership of this particular place and have a discussion. The discussion where we will make a call to the MMC and say to the MMC, here are your people, when are we meeting, how do we get the province to come on board, and how do we get Department of Housing on board to address the same thing. We are committed from the Department of Environment and Infrastructure. We are committed from the Department of Environment and Infrastructure to electrify the place if the departments that need to justify that must do it. We've already spoken to water and said to water, it's a COVID-19 situation, can we bring tankers here? In my understanding, there may have been tankers. If they're not here, we will go and inspect what they committed to do has happened in terms of bringing in water tankers. We'll also check if there is a need for us to bring in sanitation. If those things are not done, I will guarantee you today that we will call the COO to bring some water, to bring some ablution facilities, but we would meet the leadership first, so that when we go there, we are directed and led by the leadership.
And if you use the word if it clearly shows that you're not following up on your promises. It looks like you don't know what's going on down there. Do you not think that you are failing these people somehow?
No. We're not. There is work that we are doing. We've indicated that the MMC is speaking to Department of the provincial department, Lebogang Mail. There is an engagement with him. The issue of housing, remember, housing will only come into play once the province is saying, okay, this is the budget for us to complete the process. We are in a negotiation stage on this particular thing. And at that negotiation and the challenges that we are having informs where we are going. But we are mitigating two things here. The first mitigation is people are in an unsafe situation. The building itself is unsafe.
How is it unsafe?
Unsafe in the basis that there are departments, that there's engineers that looks at the structure of the building and they tell us if this building is safe for habitation. We understand technical, not me, the technicians in the city to say the building is unsafe. And if the building is unsafe, honestly speaking, what we need to do is to come in and correct the wrong things in the building itself. The other issue is once the building is there, there's an allocation of us doing people. I'm not sure if that building accommodates 5,000. Somebody says it's got 5,000 people. So it must be done to the correct specification. And we must fast track the process of addressing the issues of housing in the city. That is why the MMC of housing, last week already, he was pronouncing that he has started development of new housing in areas like Fireng, in other areas where we have spots. Once we get those spots, we then accommodate the people.
Thanks so much. Long, complicated process. And Blaine, I suppose that means we are going to see the repetition of what's going on here. more standoff between city power technicians and the residents here who are saying that until they install electricity here, they are going to continue connecting themselves. They are going to continue with the illegally connected wires that are running overhead on the ground and putting children's lives at risk, even including their lives as well. But we will be monitoring the situation here at Riverpark Flats on the London Road in Alexandra.
Right. Maageketla, it is no doubt a developing story. Please come back to us as soon as you want to, and we'll get you back on air, give the viewer the very latest with regards to what's happening there. Maageketla Motlabe there, live for us in Alexandra, getting us all sides of that story.